Hi everybody, Chris with Asheville blog here at Franny's Farm, getting set for Barnaroo, which is coming up later this week on November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Woo-hoo! These two folks sitting to my left are Francis Stacy and Andrew Scotchy. Francis is the owner of Franny's Farm, and Andrew is with the River Rats and a big contributor. We'll talk to Andrew here in a minute, but Francis, I wanted to start talking to you, just kind of tell me a little bit about the history of the farm.
Well, it has been almost a year ago since we closed on this land. And all of this happens because I have an amazing husband, Jeff, that supports all my dreams and makes them all come true, which was to build a barn and live in the top of the barn and have our organic farm, organic gardens, chickens, turkeys. We have sheep that we're breeding. And have festivals, music, energy, and share all that with everybody we love. So
yeah, I saw some goats when I walked in. They were playing around with each other. That was very cool to see.
They like to play King of the Mountain on top of their shed.
That's exactly what they were doing. So over a year ago, you said you just closed. Talk about what the past 12 months have been like. Have you slept?
Not much, but it has been such a labor of love. We started with a barn raising, and with 2 weeks notice we put email, Facebook out to friends and family, and within 2 weeks had 150 people show up to help us do a barn raising, where we were smoking pigs and cranes and 30 guys on a structure, and grandma and all her friends out here in their 70s and 80s with hoes clearing our garden and planting bulbs and kids playing music by a bonfire. It was just absolutely amazing. There was nothing. There wasn't a driveway, anything here. We got it. That's how it started, and it's just been a wild, amazing, exciting ride. We had people show up every weekend through the winter and 16-degree weather to help us build this barn house to live in.
FYI, Franny's Farm is in Leicester?
Leicester.
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 Yeah, Leicester.
Leicester may be the first 5 lanes.
I have.
We're in Leicester.
Yeah. I haven't spent too much time out here, but the time that I have spent in this kind of an area, there is a real community vibe out here. It's beautiful too.
Everybody in this cove is so excited about Barnaroo and participating. We've got our best friends that moved in next door, and they'll have a goat farm soon. We've got the people that actually own the trailer park. They're excited. They've got 20 acres. They're involved. All our neighbors have bush hogged their land, so we've got parking. It's just amazing.
It's going to be one big party. Barnaroo, Andrew, not really a new thing here. It's been around, but moving to this location. Tell us a little bit about the history of Barnaroo.
It started in Weaverville, North Carolina. In 2009, me and my friends were about 15 or 16. We couldn't play in any of the venues. We weren't old enough, and right after my dad passed away, we had just put in this big staircase in this barn, and it gave us access to the loft, and we just were out hanging out one night, and we're like, this would be the perfect music venue. And we started booking bands, just our buddies' bands, and it was very, very small. It was like 20-30 kids, but it started growing. And so between 2009 and 2011, the word started getting out, and we started doing show trades. My band at the time started bringing in bands from Nashville, Tennessee, a few bands from Georgia, some bands from South Carolina, and they'd come and play, and they'd go home and tell their friends, and we'd just end up getting hit up by more bands that have found out about it and interested in it. And talking to Frances, you can tell she's dedicated. You can tell she's got a network that is full of great people that just love what they do. And with Barnaroo, that was something that we always strived for. And the past space that we had, it was getting limited. We couldn't really fit everybody in there. Parking was a nightmare, and I think we can make it work here. But yeah, that was a problem. Neighbors, we had some noise complaints. To say the least, we had some noise complaints, and we started getting the word out more. Like the local press started getting involved and getting interested, and all these bands from around the area wanted to come and play. And we played Farm Fest. River Rats and I played Farm Fest in June, and we came out here, and it was the absolute best festival setting that we had played all summer. We played a bunch of festivals on the small tour that we did, but this one right here in our hometown was our favorite. And it was because everyone was dedicated, everyone was in on the same thing, the same goal, and we actually did a Barnaroo. This was all my mom's backyard, so there's only so much we could do.
Right.
So we had a Barnaroo like a few weeks after that, and it went great. And it was the first time we'd gotten local press involved, and I was like, well, what if we moved it to Franny's? And me and Franny met up, and Franny, and Audra met up, and we started talking. And ultimately, I kind of approached her as I was like, you have a great network of people. You know how to promote well. You know how to get people involved. You know how to get people motivated, doing what they love, and I do that in the same respect and with my network of people. So ultimately, this Barnaroo is merging those networks and trying to make something really unique.
So Francis, what about music was important to you when you guys bought this land? What you have enough going on. You can see
it's
that.
It's true. But when you're born and you love music, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So I was surrounded by musicians. I grew up going to honky tonks and local bars from the time I was very little, and going to the park every Sunday and listening to music out in Centennial Park, and had musician friends and family, and so it's always been important. I was a teacher for about 6 years, so music education was something I always used. I was a special ed teacher, and it's just amazing. It's just an expression of joy and happiness, and I love it. That was just part of the vision. Our son is in the band. He plays music. His friends play music. They have bonfires, and they sit around the bonfire and play music. It's just bliss.
It's the best way to communicate in the area where we live. I mean, it's a common language that everyone speaks.
Yeah.
And with the festival like this, we're just trying to reach those people.
And there's a lot of young people involved with the festival.
For sure.
I know you're young, a little bit younger than me anyways, but tell us a little bit about some of the younger artists that'll be around. Then we'll talk about some of the more well-knowns.
Well, speak to the Rock Academy.
Yeah, well, we got them involved. Ann Coons with the Rock Academy here in Asheville. The River Rats did a battle of the bands that they were sponsoring back in early June, right before we came to Farm Fest, and got involved with Francis. They specialize in teaching kids how to play in a band and how to work with each other, and ultimately get out and gig in the community. And whenever we met up with them, we were talking about this next Barnaroo, and one of the bands from Rock Academy actually played Farm Fest, so we'd already kind of had that connection going, and we got them involved because they just do so many great things in the community, and the kids are so dedicated, and the kids are really good, really great. I've seen them live, and they just absolutely kill it. And I've been in several bands, and I wasn't that good when I was that age. I was not that good when I was that age. So seeing that is very inspiring, and I think it's going to inspire other people whenever they get here and they see these kids rocking out and doing what they love, and being part of a community cause like this. They're going to really get inspired and really see the kind of joy that's going into it.
Something else that they do, they have a nonprofit associated with them, Give to the Music. And so that really pulls on a lot of my mission. People ask all the time for you to give something, and I always say if it has something to do with kids, then that's what I'll do. And so Give to the Music, and that's our nonprofit that we're giving proceeds to, and our raffle, which has an electric guitar, very awesome.
It's going to be sweet.
All those proceeds go back to Give to the Music,
Right.
and that funds instruments for kids, and
Classes.
classes and lessons, and gives an opportunity to kids that they don't have. And it's a really just amazing opportunity.
From what I've seen, following music over the past, I'm 31, so maybe over the past 10, 15 years of my life that I've really focused on watching music. This generation that's coming up is doing some incredible, and across generation, across genres is what I mean to say, are doing a lot of different things, and nonprofits like that, because really it's gone out of the schools now. The arts are
definitely
not as prominent in school as it was maybe in my day, or even maybe in your day, maybe a little bit more. So these nonprofits really do a great job, and you guys do a great job too. So let's talk about the bands that are going to sell some tickets. Who else is coming this weekend?
We got Shauna Tucker and the Eye Candy. They're the headliner on the main stage. And Shauna Tucker, if you do some research on her, she was the bass player for the Drive-By Truckers, which is a big touring act, and they've got on to, yeah, they're great.
They're awesome.
they're one of the bands that I grew up listening to. My brother turned me on to, and I just love them.
And they're a headliner for Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday, and then Friday night we have Chuck Brodsky, who is just a fantastic storyteller. He just finished up a tour in Ireland, and he's gonna kill it. We've got George McDonald from the Zealots here in Asheville, which is an up-and-coming band. And my group, the River Rats, will play Friday. But Saturday, it's going to be like 15 bands in between the two stages,
awesome.
and it's gonna be everything from, like, we got this guy named Chris Rodriguez here in Asheville. He's a one-man band. He sits on a suitcase, and he's got a kick pedal, and he plays, does harmonica. It's just this great blues folk experience. So you'll hear stuff like that in the barn. Woody Wood is this great singer-songwriter and guitar player here in town. I used to go to his shows when I was 15 and just be like, oh, I want to play like that. So a lot of these musicians and bands that we're booking,
Red Honey.
Red Honey,
got a
Demon
lot.
Waffle from Johnson City, of course all the Rock Academy bands. We got 4 of those, and
Which is the Lowdown, Outside Suburbia.
yeah.
So quite a few artists. If
yeah.
everybody wants
Yeah.
to see the full list and get an idea of
Mhm.
maybe what day they want to come or both days, well, where can they do that at?
Franny'sFarm.com.
So Franny'sFarm.com is where you want to go.
Yep.
By the way, folks, we're giving away a couple of free tickets to
yeah.
Barnaroo, so you can go
Thank
for
you.
free. All you have to do is like Asheville Blog on Facebook, and then you got to share the post, and we'll choose at random somebody to win that, so you can see these folks in person.
Lots of people do it. We're willing. Everybody share it.
Yeah.
So as
We'll
many
get
as
lots
many
of
as
free
we can
tickets.
get out there as possible. Well, thank
It's
you
gonna
guys
be
so
great.
much
Thank
for your
you, Chris.
time.
Thank
It's Franny's Farm. It's Barnaroo, November 1st, 2nd, and
Yep.
3rd, right here in
Woo!
Leicester. I learned how to say Leicester
did
today.
it.
That's my.
Thank
All
you.
right, everybody. We'll have another blog post soon. This is Chris with Asheville Blog. Go enjoy some music, folks. Have a good week.